Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new disc golf video. Today we're going to be doing another disc comparison between the Westside Discs Shield and the Latitude 64 Gauntlet. These are both throwing putters from Westside and Latitude. And in my opinion, these are some of the best driving putters in the Trilogy lineup. I have them both in premium plastics. We got the VIP plastic from Westside, the Opto plastic from Latitude 64. We're going to be taking a look at their profile, their flight patterns, their release, and how they work on the approach, all in this video. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting with the Shield, you can see kind of its profile there, guys. You can see how it's got a little bit of dome to it. I don't know if you can see that on camera. It does have a little micro bead on the bottom, but there is the profile of the Shield. Moving on to the Gauntlet, you can see they have very similar profiles. The Shield is definitely a little bit more domey than the Gauntlet for sure, but the Gauntlet definitely has a good amount of dome to it. The Gauntlet's bead is not as noticeable in my opinion, but both of these have similar profiles and similar feel in the hand. I do think that the Shield has more dome, and that's definitely noticeable as you hold it. So as I do in every disc comparison video, we're going to start by throwing them. I'm going to be throwing each disc with hyzer angle, flat angle, and Anhyzer angle, comparing their flight patterns. The Westside Discs Shield has a speed 3, glide 3, turn 0, fade of 1, and the Gauntlet has a speed 3, glide 4, turn 0, fade of 1. So according to the numbers, the Gauntlet's going to have a bit more glide to it. We're going to go ahead and compare these discs on throwing and see how they fly. That was really far. Alright guys, as for throwing, these two flew pretty similar. As for a hyzer release, if you put it on enough hyzer, on a good amount of hyzer, both of these are just going to hold hyzer the whole way. There's no doubt in that. If you put on a little bit less hyzer, you'll get them to flip, but still have a reliable fade at the end. So these are both good at hyzering and holding that on an approach or on a power shot for a flat release. You're going to see the disc get a little bit of turn, but always have a reliable fade. That's one thing I noticed, is that both of these discs have a reliable fade. If I really hit the angle right on the Gauntlet, I can get a really straight flight. I was able to get a pretty straight flight, but I can get a straight flight for a longer period of time with the Gauntlet. It just feels, I prefer a little bit of a flatter putter, although this still has a little bit of dome to it. The Shield has a good amount, definitely a visible amount of dome. And for Anhyzer, both of these had really pretty flights. The first Anhyzer throw, I tried to just throw out a smooth Anhyzer. You saw both of these kind of hold the Anhyzer and then flex back. And then on the second one, I tried to really rip these with Anhyzer. Westside Discs Shield held the Anhyzer for the whole time, and then the Gauntlet held and then flattened and maybe had a little finish at the end. So for throwing, it really comes down to feel, in my opinion. If you really would just have to hold these discs in your hand. You're going to feel a little bit of a more defined bead on the Shield, a little bit more dome in the hand, especially on the fan grip, I've noticed. And for the Gauntlet, you're going to get a little bit of a flatter feel, still have some dome to it, and the bead is also there. So both of these have a little bit different feel, but pretty much they will do the same flight if you have to kind of put them on certain angles. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to approach shots. I'm going to do same thing, flat hyzer, Anhyzer with both of these discs, and we're also going to throw a forehand approach in there as well. Although these are putters, I'll still try to forehand them and, you know, put them close to the basket. We're going to try two different approach locations for that, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so for the approach over there to the basket, pretty much the exact same in flight. They're going to hold whatever you put it on, especially at that low power and that distance. We're going to try one more approach location here. Just going to throw one shot for each of these more tricky approach location. Overall, it comes down to feel, guys. It really comes down to feel. If you guys have not felt these discs, they actually feel really amazing. So you should definitely go to like a local retailer or dynamicdiscs.com and pick up one of these. We're going to go ahead, approach the basket up there, and yeah, see how they do. Alright, those are both within 10 feet. Alright guys, that wraps up the disc comparison between the Westside Discs Shield and the Latitude 64 Gauntlet, both in the premium plastics. Overall, this was a very fun comparison. I enjoyed throwing both these discs. They are both very solid options for a driving putter, an approach putter, and even a putting putter. I didn't putt with them today because inside of Circle 1, they're pretty much going to fly the exact same. It all comes down to feel for putting, and so I would have a biased opinion when it comes to that, but the Gauntlet has actually made my bag as an approach. It kicked out my PA3. I was able to get a cleaner release out of the Gauntlet. I like the glide of the Gauntlet. I can just get a lot of distance out of this for a putter. And so I've been really loving it for all types of shots, off the tee approaches. The Shield is the same way. It's a great disc. It's not in my bag just because it has a good amount of dome that I've noticed, and I can't get as clean of a release, but I can still get a very solid flight out of both of these discs. You should definitely feel both of these for sure. They're amazing throwing putters, amazing approach putters, and I'm sure they're really good on the green as well. I'm pretty sure Nico Lacastro actually putts with the Shield, so amazing putters on both ends of the spectrum here. But that is it for this disc comparison. If this was helpful for you, if it was informative or interesting or entertaining, make sure to leave a like. Let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like to see me try out another disc, compare discs, etc. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.